We had some absolutely massive news hit this morning. Top 5 bank globally. What are they doing with Bitcoin and a Bitcoin ETF? And what kind of freaking liquidity spark is that going to provide? Wow, we're going to share that news. Also, we have a very special guest. Max from Score is going to be joining us. If you're not familiar with Score, there's the team that launched DKING. And put out a post on X yesterday. It looks like creator bid agents are starting to run with DKING and AION 5100 leading the way, both of which we've been telling our people here watching and our Patreon members that we got them in early and have exposure to. And so we'll see how far those can run. We're going to talk a little bit about what whales are buying, Doge, SWI, and then there's one more you might have never heard of. But is it going to be something that you should put on your radar and potentially get into? And then a massive AI explosion is coming. Saw someone in the chat said it exploded red on the charts. That doesn't matter because we're looking at fundamentally AI is about to take off. We have that and much, much more on today's episode of SINCITY Crypto. Let's go.
Your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to SINCITY Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content. We take old, boring, stale information, we repackage all of that up in a fun, sexy way. You know what? There's a lot going on in crypto this week. You know, you got the big boys jumping in.
Yeah.
You got that TradFi making moves. So we're seeing an escalation of buys from traditional finance to the tunes of billions of dollars.
Billion.
And well, the ETF flows are looking juicy lately.
Really good.
So,
they're great.
it's interesting how we're seeing these massive flows into the Bitcoin ETFs. We're seeing these giant billion-dollar buys. We're seeing the likes of JP Morgan and changing their tune to how they view crypto and their strategies moving forward. And so you ask yourself, how we got all this bullish news and all this Bitcoin's getting bought up, but yet the price is not moving this week? Well, I think it's about to pop off. Gold's up, Bitcoin soon to follow. Thank you.
Certain things we can't explain, my friends. It is what it is. It's the cabal. The cabal's hunting us. The liquidations. You hear the JP Morgan news?
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Huge.
Huge. What are we talking about? Well, let me show you. JP Morgan to accept Bitcoin and crypto ETFs as collateral for loans. Wow. Okay.
You know what's interesting is that yesterday my narrative was the banks are going to start offering crypto services in 5 to 10 years. Well,
what did I say? I said not that long.
Shut it. Shut
a day, literally 24 hours later.
I don't want to hear it, okay? I brought it up. I preemptively wanted to get this out of the way.
Okay.
David, you might be onto something.
Yeah. Shocker.
The banks are still going to take their time.
Telling you, man.
But maybe not as much time as I thought.
Once that snowball picks up steam down that hill, there's no stopping it, bro. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And you got these little snowballs that try to catch up, and then the smaller snowballs get left behind.
Stop with the analogies, man. Your analogies are terrible.
When was the last time you saw snow?
We live in Vegas.
I know. That's what I'm asking you. When was the last time you saw snow?
On TV. It was very beautiful.
It was hailing pretty big.
I had to turn the brightness down on my TV. I wasn't used to it.
Straight up. Guys, this is absolutely massive. Now, the pain point would have been, hey, if you custody your own Bitcoin, you can use it as collateral, which is great for us who know how to do that. If we want to take that potential risk of, hey, giving up our Bitcoin or at least temporarily to get a loan. But if you're telling institutions and you're telling clients of BlackRock, hey, not only can you put in $100 million into the best performing asset over the last 10 years, you can do it in a vehicle, right, that is more beneficial and a lot easier versus buy it on exchange, take it on exchange, custody. I don't want to deal with that. I got $100 million. BlackRock, I trust you. Hold on to my money. On top of that, I can now use that to get liquid cash. Use that as collateral to get liquid cash. It's I think this is an absolute game changer. When I saw this, I was like, wow. Very interesting. How far JP Morgan has come from just 2 years ago. Jamie Dimon.
I will say though,
What will you say?
The one caveat here is that it's ETF only. So, people that have Bitcoin in the form of cold storage or, on an exchange, which I don't know why you would have a lot on exchange, but for the people that have their own custody.
I know one guy that's got all of his money on exchange.
Who's that? Oh, yeah? Like how you whispered his name.
Well, because I don't know. Sometimes he watches our show.
Yeah.
But he's got like 300K on an exchange. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Like, take your money seriously. But yeah.
I'll say this. If it's on Coinbase.
But Robin.
No, I mean, I'm just saying.
Even Coinbase.
No, no. What I'm just saying that if you're going to have it on an exchange, like at least it's on Coinbase. At least there's that, right? At least there's that, and it's not on some offshore exchange. I wouldn't do it, but here's the thing. I know the individual you're talking about. He might be he isn't the. Don't
worry, we didn't say his name.
He's got some interesting habits, and so I don't know. Maybe it's better he doesn't have it on cold storage. Maybe he just maybe he has a long night, and anyways he loses his seed phrase somehow or another. It might actually.
Well, usually when it's a long night with him, it's not just him losing his seed phrase. Other things he's losing as well. But yeah, we're not going to get into that. But listen, you said it's the ETF, Robin. Look at the clientele they're going after, my friend.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that it's
and Rob,
I'm not saying like this is crap. It's nothing.
Robin,
the rug. I'm just saying that like, hey, you know what? It is just ETFs. So
Robin,
I mean,
see this?
Just take that into account.
Bitcoin and crypto ETFs, which includes ETH, which includes soon to be Hedera, XRP, Cardano, Chainlink, XLM, SWI, all of it.
Interesting.
And I'll tell you something, my friends. Once one bank does something and it becomes a case study and is successful, every other bank's going to do it. Every other bank is going to do it. And so imagine this sales pitch if you're a BlackRock financial advisor. Hey, I'm going to pick a random name. Hey, Alex Wells, what if I told you there is an asset that earns right around 28% compounded annual growth rate over the last 10 years, the best performing asset. People call it digital gold. It's something our founder, our CEO, Larry Fink, is really excited about. And it's really a hedge against governments and really anything, inflation. Oh, and by the way, you can do it in a tax-advantaged way through our ETF. You don't got to worry about holding it. We'll take care of all that for you. Oh, and by the way, you can use that as collateral to borrow liquid cash. So you're earning money with the most profitable, best, the asset that's got the best returns over the last 10 years. On top of that, you can use that as collateral if you need liquid money and you don't want to touch it. So that grows. You can borrow money against it. You get it. And hey, it's a win-win. These are the kind of financial instruments that you want to talk about grabbing the attention of millionaires and billionaires. This is it. Now, I was talking to my cousin. He was speaking to someone. There was something, there was about $1 million he wanted to invest in something. He wanted it to generate cash flow for him, right? And he's like, look, it's pretty technical. Can you get on the phone with me? Sure. We haven't got on the phone yet, but from what he told me, it sounds a little sketchy. So I advised against it, even though I haven't taken the call yet. But this is something that I would tell my cousin, like, hey, he buys Bitcoin and crypto. It's not because he wants to keep it and I want to do this and we're going to fight the government. He wants to make money. He wants to accumulate capital. He wants to accumulate working cash. And so this would be something that I'd say, look, man, I recommend doing something like this. If you only care about price going up, put $1 million in the BlackRock or the Fidelity ETF. And then if you ever need some liquid cash, or if you want to use it really as soon as you put the money in, you can go ahead and do it. And so telling you, this is a big game changer. And it's not just some small bank. I believe, and Rob, you can fact check me on this. I think JP Morgan is top 5 globally. In banks when it comes to
number 1 in the U.S.
Yeah, globally though, I'm pretty sure
probably still number 1.
No, globally. I don't think globally. But anyways, we can reference that. $3.6 trillion though. That is a lot of money. And I'm telling you guys, this happens. You're going to see other banks doing it. And we're in the I don't want to call it the DeFi era of Bitcoin. Maybe I don't even know. Maybe the word will come to me in about 10 minutes. But did you find it? It's searching. But this is going to be the time where people that have Bitcoin, people that have bought the ETF, put that money to work. Everyone loves making money, have their money make money. So that's pretty massive. So yeah, I mean that's pretty big news. Definitely want to kick it off with that for the start of the show today. We had this as well. Speaking of ETFs, President Trump's Truth Social filed for a Bitcoin ETF called Truth. I think it's called Truth or the Truth. I don't know. What is it called? Truth Social Bitcoin ETF.
No, the
Did you find
Trump? Yeah, you're spot on. It is.
Number 5?
Yeah. It's interesting, man. It's what products or services is the Trump camp not?
Oh, you're talking about
have?
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's
They got sneakers. They got NFTs. They got their own coin. They're gonna have
they got a wallet. He's got a meme coin. His wife's got a meme coin.
He's got
NFT trading cards, multiple sets.
He tweets
got his own token.
Yeah, he posts about his meme coin. He's a KOL.
They got a DEX or yeah, basically.
I heard he's got a Bitcoin blanket.
They're buying and they're buying spot Bitcoin and holding it along with Ethereum, other assets. He's taking a playbook straight out of
a DGen.
The DGen. I mean, honestly, he's got more exposure in different areas than I do, right? I mean, I don't really have my own app, so I guess I would. That's where it stops. But I don't know.
You know what I realized? I was sifting through YouTube or whatever, and we're gonna call from the same number.
Yeah,
it's weird. Oh, maybe it's Google Voice. Go ahead. Good. I'll take over. So I forget what I was saying, but what is interesting is I was going through and I just this random has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I was just going through some YouTube channels or whatever, and I'm not shaming anyone for doing this, but there's a lot of people that like launch their own coin and launch their own this, and that's something we've never done, and I don't see us doing that. But yeah, that literally came out of nowhere. But yeah, Trump, I guess he's beating everyone to whatever the hell he wants to do. I do want to give a, well, not yet, but I do want to say this. Hong Kong officially accepts Bitcoin as proof of assets to apply for residency. So you watching, you're tired of living down in Alabama, roll tide, you want to go to Hong Kong, some culture in you. Go ahead, Brokyoshi. I promise it's not against you. I know you live somewhere in the South. I'm not going to dox where you live. But if you're trying to go to Hong Kong, guess what? Show you got Bitcoin, and they'll let you in. But telling you guys, like we do a live show Monday through Friday. We're doing it for 4 years, okay? There's only so much info and so much news that's out there when the markets are pretty flat, okay? So some things feel redundant, but it's hammering home the idea and the concept that we've been trying to say, and really a lot of people in our space have been trying to say, is hyper-Bitcoinization adoption is here. It's literally here, and people are racing to be the leader in that. And then this was an interesting one here as well. Retail euphoria has not yet arrived. So my friends, I tell you, Bitcoin is currently at $105,000, and retail euphoria hasn't even arrived yet. We know what retail did in 2021 and literally every cycle before then. They're not even here yet. And Bitcoin's at $105,000. Imagine when they get in here. It's going to be absolutely massive. So this is from CryptoQuant. In the last 30 days, retail demand has fallen by approximately 2.5%, indicating that smaller investors have not yet reached a euphoric dynamic in the current market. This is from Kakanomi. Wait. Ka Economy. See that name? Kakanomi. Economy.
Kakanomi, huh?
That's sorry, that's what I read. My bad.
Kind of economy are you looking at, bro?
Okay, I deserve that one. I deserve that one. I'll take it. I'll take my punch on that one. That was our new junior TD, Gina. Just don't make it a habit, okay, Gina? I know, I'm like, just don't make it a habit, please. Rocco's going on vacation next week.
Don't worry, I'll train her well.
No, please. Rocco's going on vacation next week, and I'm just really looking forward not to hearing that every time I say a really funny joke. But that one I deserved. I'll take that one on the chin. Robin.
Yes, sir.
Retail's not here. Look at these numbers here, my friend. When retail does get here, Rob, do you expect them to pile in to Bitcoin first, like we've seen in previous cycles, right? Bitcoin to ETH to mid caps to small caps and back up. Or do you think because institutions have essentially taken hold of Bitcoin as their favorite asset, that they'll just skip the Bitcoin part and go straight to altcoins?
I mean, first, you got to answer the question, will retail appear this bull market?
Yeah.
And when I say this bull market, within the next year. And then you got to say to yourself, where's that money going to come from? Because retail, in my opinion, is not going to show up unless they're given a surplus of money, right? And where economy is in a situation where the economy's booming, people have more money, people are investing. People generally, when you talk about retail, the people that aren't your everyday investors and traders, they're only getting into markets like index funds, speculative stocks, crypto. They're only buying those if they got some extra money on the table. You only got extra money on the table if the economy's doing well. And so we're just not in that position right now. Economy's not in a bad spot. We're seeing the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, all rebound from their lows here, or their market, the cycle lows here recently. And so we're seeing a reversal. We're seeing the trend, flip. I just don't know if retail's going to come in. Do you think,
Rob,
let
me give you a stat.
Do you think the mechanic and the teacher, the people that came in and were first time buyers of crypto last bull market?
No, but the strippers are. And the OnlyFans. They are. Okay, all jokes aside, hear me out here, okay? If you look at the last 3 months with stocks, institutions and large whales have been selling, and who's been gobbling up those dips? It's been retail.
It's the strippers and the OnlyFans. You need to get off the cockonomy, man. Because you're going all in on it, bro. Just saying. You need to look at the big picture.
Thanks, man.
Not the Vegas picture. Thank you. So, you ask yourself, like, where is retail? Are they going to come in? I just don't know, man. I would say I'm more 50-50. I'm not sure that retail is going to come in, and retail is 100% dependent on handouts from the government, right? Or at least an environment that sees money printing and money becomes easy to borrow, and in turn you get a large boom in the economy. And so I just don't know if that's coming. I'm 50-50 on there. Do you feel confident that retail is going to come in this year? You feel like the economy is going to loosen up?
I don't know about this year.
Loosen up?
Okay, here. Since you're on the economy, let me go ahead and share this. This is posted by Investing Bros. U.S. ADP non-farm employment change in May. What they expected was 111,000. What they got was 37,000. Yeah, that's not good. 62K was previous. A lot of analysts are saying this should inspire the Fed to cut rates. I should have had this pulled up, but I don't. But now I will. Let's check the CME.
Donald Trump said, "Hey, Jerome Powell, you need to cut rates now."
Wow, it's still 95% no rate cut. Interesting. So, I mean, I don't know. I think at some point, because you got to remember, it's not 100% unilaterally Jerome Powell's decision. It is an FOMC vote. So if enough of the FOMC members that have voting power this year, if they're like, hey, we got to do something here, man. We got to cut, yada, yada. I think it's going to force his hand. Obviously, he's the chair, so he's going to have a lot more sway. But again, it's a collaborative approach. Just like at the SEC with the commissioners, majority rules out of the 5, you got to get 3 yeses or 3 nos for it to pass or not pass. Same idea with FOMC. I think a rate cut. I don't know about June because let me double check the calendar here, Rob. Our next meeting is June 18th. Is June 18th. So we'll see. Yeah. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Rob?
I'm just curious. The CME is never wrong. And then you also got the most important person globally, or you can argue the most important person on the planet, which is the president. Second most important person is, well, Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed. In regards to economies, when it comes to financial decisions, you have two heads there of the same snake, right? The U.S. economy. You got policy being driven by the president, and then you also got fiscal policy being driven by the Fed. And so, it's curious who's going to win out here, because both of them, I think Jerome Powell is a pretty cocky dude too. He's out there. He stands tall on his stance. And so will he bend to Donald Trump, or maybe what we'll see is Jerome Powell not even cut rates because he's like, hey, the president's trying to be funny. He's trying to assert his dominance on me, and, well, he can't control me, so maybe I just won't cut rates just to spite him. Maybe that's something we see. I'm not exactly sure, but, I would, I'm not 100%. So, I don't know. You can, do you side more on a rate cut change? I know the CME doesn't line up that way.
Rate cuts happening, dog, whether you like it or not. But I don't want to talk about rate cuts because that's boring. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about some price action. I'm excited. For price action. Okay, where are we at? We talking about BTC 105,238 for Bitcoin. Down 0.63% on the 24-hour. Up on the 90 days, 17%. Let's take a look at a Bitcoin price action chart here. Those of you that were there in the Sistine trading yesterday, Forrest and I kind of ran point on that show. We talked about Bitcoin, and this is something, obviously this is not good. In the short term, at least, this is on the daily for Bitcoin. Head and shoulder pattern here. That should break to the downside, and we're right there. Now, the measured move on this one, if it were to follow, or if it were to complete, would be a trip back down to 94.6. Now, I'm not saying it's going to play out exactly like that. I would say more often than not, you don't get the exact measured move on these pattern breaks. But nonetheless, I do think there's a break to the downside coming. Now, the one thing to keep in mind, you guys, especially with an asset that is as volatile to news as Bitcoin and crypto is, crypto more so than Bitcoin, but regardless, I mean, I don't know. I thought the JP Morgan news was fairly big. That obviously didn't really move the needle. But really, I don't know, something huge, like Rob mentions, US comes out and says, hey, we already started buying Bitcoin. I think that could be a massive catalyst. And this could be invalidated fairly quickly for BTC. And then you take a look at the rest of the markets here. And then we have our guest Max joining us in a little bit. We'll bring him on, get his thoughts on AI and DKING, a lot of exciting things. But you take a look at what's down the biggest. Fartcoin Dog with Hat. Now, Dog with Hat was I believe the top gainer yesterday when Forrest and I were looking at the charts. It was Dog with Hat and it was SPX 6900. Those are the two gainers today. Two meme coins, the top losers. So a lot of volatility in the speculative side, and the Virtuals protocol down to $1.82. I did put up a Patreon post, and I made this one public. It doesn't really have any alpha. I'm doing this, but it's kind of a guide on, hey, you guys are missing out on a lot of money by not farming these virgin points and getting into these Genesis launches. We hit a 22x yesterday. We hit another 26x today. I'll kind of get down to that, or get to that a little bit later. But yeah, we ready to go with our guest?
Yep.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. So if you guys watched our show, man, it's been what, 3 months, 4 months? I don't know. It's been a while, but we had Max and his business partner Nigel from Score join us as they had just launched their new AI agent, DKING. Well, Max is back. I kindly requested, and he offered his time. Max, glad to have you back, my friend. How you doing?
Good. You guys? Amazing to be with you again.
Great, man. Thanks for joining us. A lot of exciting things have happened, and not just DKING, but AI. Max, I want to share this. I put this post up yesterday. Looks like it's creator bid agents' turn to run. I mentioned that in context of a lot of the virtuals protocol agents have been running. You look at your project, DKING was up, I think, at 1.60%. I was very happy when I opened up my Coinbase wallet. And then AI on 5100, this one, another creator bid token, up again. This was up close to 60%. And just AI in general, and kind of, Max, the theme of our thumbnail today was AI explosion. What are you? I mean, because you're in the trenches, right? You're with the builders. You know, you guys got your own subnet 44 with Score. And what are you seeing in the AI space? Where's the trend going? Because I can sit here from an outside perspective and just what I see and research, but you're actually in it. What are you seeing AI in general? Then we'll hone in on DKING.
Yeah, I mean, speaking about AI in general, I think we are going through an acceleration phase, as crazy as it sounds. Recently, two subnets have announced that they are going way deeper and, faster in pre-training, for instance. Things are going a bit crazy. So I think, as crazy as it sounds, we are just at the beginning of the huge AI wave. I would advise people to really follow closely things that are happening on Bittensor. So yeah, pre-training is getting completely decentralized right now, which is a huge breakthrough. And if you want to talk a bit more about AI agents, we can probably mention different projects, but just for people to understand, I think now the kind of the chatbot era is probably not over, but we're probably going to keep one or two of them. And we're probably going to start moving forward to real use cases like, trading, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, from an AI perspective, it's going faster and faster. And I think it's also pretty hard to catch up with everything that is happening. But yeah, no, big breakthroughs in pre-training lately on Bittensor. And big protocols also launching. I mean, News Research have done something interesting, and other big names, and also seeing a big trend of external protocols going back to Bittensor or setting up their own subnet. So yeah, I'm probably a bit biased, but there's a lot of things happening around Bittensor.
I love Bittensor, and my chat can tell you how bullish I am on that project. And really, I've been bullish on what you guys are doing. And, Max, since you kind of opened the door about talking, kind of talking about some other projects outside of DKING, this was something I was going to go over before or after you came on, but, you're kind of an expert in this space. You mentioned like the whole chat thing and talk with an AI about, cool, you can do that with ChatGPT. What's the next thing that's really going to revolutionize and make things practical? Take a look at this from AI on 5100. So this is from Subnet 6. DeFi vaults. So stablecoin vaults. And it says these are independent vaults, not relying on crypto volatility. They can operate in bull, bear, or sideways markets, uncorrelated with macro, powered by Infinite Games, which is Subnet 6. And it talks about their token gating. I'm not going to talk about that. And then somewhere down here, they talk about what kind of returns you can get on stablecoin. And these are the things, Max, things like what Aeon's doing, things like what you guys are doing. And we're going to go over some DKING roadmap and a video I found on your guys' X handle. But is this kind of where you think, Max, it's heading? Is let me put some money into something, or is it more than just, hey, we're predicting X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, I think Aeon is definitely on the path to success. I know the team pretty well, and they've been working really hard. I think that the most exciting part of what they are, showing in this post is that it's creating a new vertical in DeFi, or people saying DFAI. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think no one knows. I don't know. I'm just saying DeFi. But anyway, it's hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I can tell is people like Aeon are creating new asset classes, and that's the most exciting part, because when you want to, I think the thesis has to be around what can you do with stablecoins. I think that's how you should understand AI agents, because stablecoin is probably the only use case that we all agree on being like the major one in crypto, and even institutions are betting on stablecoins. So I think the most exciting thing is probably the part when they say that the asset class is completely uncorrelated to the stock market or the crypto market, because it's I think it's where you find value using an agent. It's actually using a strong base model, and also I think that's something people are probably going to spend more time on in the next few weeks, months, which are also going to be really good for the ecosystem. Is try to understand that an agent is actually not really a chatbot. An agent is a model first and foremost, and the quality of the agent has to do with the quality of the model. So I think, yeah, really excited about people that are doing what Aeon is doing, because you just create the most obvious, utility for your token, but also you pair it with a stablecoin kind of DeFi vault. So yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest use cases that we're going to see about agents. And also, let's be real, crypto is all about financial bets, or it has to do with creating value. People are expecting a lot of exciting stuff happening with their own wallets. So I think it's probably the easiest use case and the biggest utility you can find to an agent is managing your money, basically.
Amen. And Max, I think you hit it the nail on the head, my friend. Stable coins are like the one vertical I think we can all agree on that crypto serves.
Yeah.
And with the Genius bill passing, I've been bullish on the stablecoin sector, farming, and especially on the institutional side. We had the news JP Morgan is going to allow people who hold the Bitcoin or crypto ETF to use it as collateral, which is pretty big. But let's jump in to DKING. Max, when I was first introduced to your project by Small Cap Scientist, that guy knows his stuff, man. He said there's only one team I would put in the same echelon of score, and that was Aeon, which we went over. But on to DKING. This was a post by you. We live in a tile simulation. In a few months, we went from a white paper, a concept, a dream, to now generating 3D simulations based on our own neural network that we're training. This is what we built Score is about: collecting visual data, creating visual models, generating a real-time positional value function. Are you entertained? I am entertained. And just take a look at this. Real quick, Max, is this what it looks like on the back end, I guess, or what? Okay, all right. So take a look at this, okay? This is pretty crazy to me. This is how, and Max, feel free to talk over this, explain what's going on so people can understand. I love that you posted this, by the way, because it's hard to conceptualize, but what do you mean the AI watches a game? So here we go.
Yeah, so that was pretty much the promise since day one, like computer understanding what's happening on the screen. So what you see is actually a computer simulating a version of a game, of a specific game, trying to understand what could have been done differently, what's happening on the pitch, also assessing the different characteristics of different players. So when we were talking about using computer vision to get like unfair advantages on the sports market, we're just talking about that. Training models to literally understand everything that's happening on the pitch from all different perspectives. We're calling this simulation because it's a very specific field of AI where when you collect real time or live data, you also need to understand how things are moving so that next time you could do it real time. So basically what you see is a neural network, so an AI model, just reading the game. And the reason we use the 3D model is to show people how the computer is reading the game.
Amazing. What? I don't know if you know this off the top of your head, but what's the win rate currently for DKING?
Okay, so we jump on that. So we're about to publish a dashboard where people are going to be able to see the back tests and everything about the model. We kind of started, betting in a private way because we were waiting to really have a strong model to then open the same type of vaults than Aeon. I would say if we talk about the model itself, we have a positive EV model right now. We found it. It's being backed by serious people, and this is going to drive the votes. Win rate could be a bit tricky. Let's say that most of the time, and if you take, for instance, the latest tweets about big finals in Europe in soccer, we had win rates oscillating between 45% to 60%, let's say.
Oh, wow.
But the most important thing to say about betting is sometimes you can have a high win rate, but you also can just bet on bets with low odds. So the most important thing for us is more the ROI, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. And I guess I should have worded that question differently. Yeah, ROI is what matters. Yeah, because you can win two really like you can put all your money on minus 1,000 favorite and you win,
Yeah.
but how much money are you really making? So I'm happy you cleared that up,
No.
Max. Okay, let's talk about the roadmap. Last time we had you and Nigel on, it was like we just launched. It's exciting. Time has passed. And I don't expect you to speak on price, but I'm just going to mention you see a big run up in price. Everyone's excited, and then you see a sell-off. That is when you find the gems. Because if founders and the project continues to build, no matter if the price is down 99% or up 99%, those are the projects that you want to be in, that I want to be in personally. And watching you guys over the last 3 to 4 months, Max, has been great. Take a look at this. This is the roadmap, I believe.
Yeah.
This was posted by CraterBid. So I just have highlighted some of the kind of the categories here. Buyback mechanism. I know you guys have already done some buybacks.
Yep.
You wanna hit on this one, Max? I wasn't sure if you wanted to kind of to mention this, but yeah, go ahead.
No, I can't. I won't, put any comment on the price itself, but just on the mechanism. I think it's important for people to understand that. And you mentioned this. We don't really. I mean, obviously, we'd be more than happy for the price to be, good for people and happy about their entry price, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But from a founder or like a core contributor perspective, and also a builder perspective, we're not being driven by the price. I mean, the roadmap is what it is. We know where we want to go, and the buyback mechanism is a way for us to show people that. For us, it's not like a short-term play. We don't want to. I mean, and you can check our bags. Nothing has moved, and we just want to show people. And I'm going to be a bit, pushy here, but honestly, that we believe in the tech. We know what we're building. We know, with that the kind of people that are backing us. I would dream about a world where we would buy back everything from the market, if I'm honest with you, because the model is getting really, really good. There's a lot of people pushing us to open the vaults and pour AUM in. I mean, a bankroll to grow the bankroll. Yeah. So we just wanted to show people that we have confidence, in DKING, that we want to buy back DKING, pour it into the LP immediately, and so they see that there's a correlation between the sell tax on creator bid and the LP. There's a lot of people that are talking about that, from a creator bid perspective, the sale tax, right? Yada yada yada. So it was a way for us to just clear that out. I think buybacks would remain, and probably buyback and burn as well, because we just want to show people that when DKING is being successful, it's getting harder for people to enter. So DKING is going to be, and this is how we build it, like the first really sports hedge fund on chain, like on chain sports hedge fund. So we want people to understand that this is going to be a very limited type of club for people to join DKING. So yeah, putting pressure on the supply, I think, is a good idea, and it shows that to people.
Yeah, I mean, people know like I'm a holder of DKING. I've been a holder since I think like 2 million or 800K market cap or 1 million market cap. So, and me personally, like I haven't sold a single one. I really believe in what you guys are doing, and very rarely is I feel that confidence. Okay, so the next thing on this roadmap here, Max, is leveling up the DKING terminal. Free all summer. What are some updates you guys have made and some exciting things that the terminal is able to do? And yeah.
So we were talking about chatbots. I think now DKING is way more than that. So if you go on DKING.bot, you'll have access to an interface where you can where you can see basically football games, football matches. But also, I think it's important to discuss what's under the hood. We went from one agent using one framework, trying to kind of cope with everything the agent had to do, to now working with more than 10 different agents in a swarm agent way. So when you ask a question through the terminal, you literally interact with a crew, with a team, with a swarm, with a flock. I mean, use whatever terminology of 10 different agents. But one agent is, just to give you an idea, one agent is just responsible for the odds. One other agent is just responsible for like updates about the team, recent form, injuries, yada yada yada. Another agent is responsible to get information from different markets, and you can and you have a list of different agents. Like there's a coordinating agent, yada yada yada. So the level of precision in the way you get information from the terminal has dramatically increased. And we're also working on making the UI UX a bit better, so the user experience. Working on adding features like leagues, also going through the different schedules, to check the different fixtures, yada yada yada. The reason we made it free for all summer is because in reality, there's less games in football for the summer, and also that's going to be the last summer where people are going to lack a bit of games or stuff like that. Because starting from, and this is something I can say, this is like an exclusive
Tell us.
for you.
Tell us.
Starting from September, DKING is going to start pushing predictions on the NFL, probably the NBA, American sports, cricket, rugby. There's a long list of sports we're going to add to
Let's
DKING.
go, man. That's
That's the
amazing.
last summer where people are going to be able to just wait and see what's happening, because starting from August, September, that's going to be busy. That's going to be crowded.
Max, if I can make a recommendation, I don't know what you need to do on the back end, but Super Bowl week, when all those prop bets come out in Vegas, the amount of money, like people literally fly to Vegas to put in prop bets and watch the game on a Sunday. And so, I mean, man, that's massive. One, it makes it year round. Two, like, I guess, I don't know, dollar value wise, how much revenue the league generates. Does like FIFA generate more, or does NFL generate more? Do you know off the top of your head?
I would say, obviously football is generating more, but I would say, given the size of the NFL, if you count it per team, the NFL is probably making more money.
Yeah. Well, at least here in the U.S., it's massive. But man, that's exciting. I'm so happy you share that, Max. Okay, before I let you go, because I've kept you longer than we had you allotted for, which thank you for your time. What are a couple closing things you want people to know? Maybe like one thing you're super excited about going into the second half of 2025. And I'll kind of leave the floor to you, Max.
No, that's great. Thanks for having me again. I mean, it's always a pleasure. I think the most exciting thing is that we're going to launch our own vaults like Aeon, and people are going to be able to just come, hold DKING, and then put the stablecoin, pour stablecoin into the vault, and then wait for the agent to bet for them, which was kind of the initial promise. We just had a very sensible approach to that, because I think when you are interacting with people's hard-earned money, you have to be careful about what you do. But now we're super confident, so we're going to be super transparent with people, pushing the dashboard with all the benchmarks, opening the vaults, and then be ready for next season. And as I was saying, that's the last time we're going to have a summer break. So I hope people are going to enjoy this one, because starting from August and September, things are going to get crazy.
Amazing, man. Max, it is always a pleasure, man. Thank you for having us on. And I just want to extend this courtesy too, Max. Is there's anything we'd love to be the go-to channel. If you guys have a big announcement to make, especially if it's something exclusive, we'd love to host you on the show. You, Nigel, your team. We love what you guys are doing.
For you guys around the late summer. Let's put that on the agenda.
Okay, done.
I'll have something.
Done. We'll get you booked, guys. If you want more info, you want to stay up to date with what Max, the team at Score, and what DKING is doing, I would highly recommend you go follow their X handle. Right, Max? Safe to say this is probably the one where they'll get the most info, I guess.
Yeah.
At We Build Score, go follow them. And then Max, thank you as always. We appreciate your time, man, and we look forward to speaking with you again.
Thanks for having me. Talk to you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Take care, brother. It's going to be exciting. NFL. All right.
Untapped market.
I'm telling you, man.
Sports betting.
This is all AI, my friends. This is all AI. So I said the explosion. Speaking of explosions, we exploded for a 25x this morning at 4 a.m. Nice way to wake up. Well, I didn't wake up at 4, but those of you that wake up at 4 was a nice way. So this one, again, part of our Patreon members got this call. It's a ERM. Got it. We got in at 226K, sitting at 4.6 million. Got to as high as 7.5. And so we got more. We're on a roll here, and some of them are easy to spot. Others, they're easy to not spot. Like the important ones are, well, which ones you stay away from, because they can all look really, really good, but we identify which ones we believe. And this one, I said, does have that 100x potential from 226K to 22 million. Excuse me. I truly believe this is where it can go. So,
you know what else is easy to spot is the Patreon value. We're giving away money, essentially, or at least the keys to do so. And if you're here watching to make money, I did this yesterday. I'll do it again. And every time we open the show with a new 25X, we'll tell you like, hey, missed another one. So do us a favor. Oh, actually, let me rewind that. Do yourself a favor. Join Patreon. Make some money. Thank you. David.
Thank you. So just kind of show you our interface here. So this was Patreon members got this one. This was async. Allocated 100 virtuals to this launch. If we can go back here, we can take a peek at where async is currently. So this is sitting at a 3 million market cap. It got as high, I believe, as 6 or 7 million. And the other one, again, I label this as 100x potential. I did almost a full allocation, around 150,000 points. It did get oversubscribed by a lot, but again, we already went over that one. That one's sitting at a close to $5 million market cap. So I'm telling you guys, get in there, start farming some Virgin points, join the Patreon, and chances are very likely that the $20 you'll be paying a month, you'll be able to make that back fairly quickly. Also, Tom Crown's in the chat. It's a great seeing you in Vegas. Sorry I never made it to the shop. Next year, I promise. We got you, bro. We're here. Anytime you're in Vegas, man, come join us. And then we did have a couple super chats from the chat here. We had Muhammad. Max wore the right type of glasses to see Rob today. I don't know. I think Muhammad has a crush on you, Rob, and all he talks about is you. Very interesting. Crick Cats, $5 super chat said, so Jamie Dimon is willing to accept Pet Rocks as collateral. Pet Rocks, Bitcoin ETF, I guess some say.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Which one? The Pet Rocks?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also, big shout out to those of you that are new. We have Robert, Juicy, your mom, Avery, Sir Save.
Robert, Juicy, your mom. That was interesting.
Crypto Breezy.
that?
Yeah. And put on mascara. So to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Put on mascara said, is today Portugal versus Germany? Robin, do you know anything about that?
I don't. I'll ask my cousin in the back. He's
Andre.
He's working on graphics today. We're on a new intro.
I love Andre. Good dude, man. Except he drinks quad shots of espresso.
Yeah, we go to take coffee orders, and my cousin. Well, you gotta understand, in Portugal, it's all we do is drink espresso. So he was like, "Yeah, 2 double shot."
2 double shot?
And we're like, "You mean 4 shots?" No, 2 double. I'm like, that's 2 doubles. 4. Okay, yeah, it's 2 double. Gotcha.
Shit. Okay, guys, we those of you that are HBAR fans, this is pretty big news. We did an HBAR video yesterday. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. This was not included in it because, well, it just came out today. Take a look at this. Another big name is joining the Hedera Governing Council, and that name is Arrow Electronics, which is a Fortune 500 company specializing in electronic components and enterprise computing solutions. This is their list of clients, Robin. NVIDIA, Intel, Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, Dell Technologies, IBM, and Hewlett-Packard. 21,000 employees worldwide, serves more than 210,000 tech manufacturers and service providers across 85 countries. And, well, now they're part of the Hedera Governing Council. I mean, we talk about institutions. They're going to pour in a lot of money. Well, Robin, who has the in with the biggest institutions? It is none other than Hedera.
Hedera is grossly undervalued, dude.
It's so undervalued. Pull up the Hedera. Pull up Hedera on the coin market cap.
Well, Hedera's at number 20 outside.
What's the market cap?
$7 billion. And so, you look at what's ahead of Hedera, and it's just like, how do these have larger market caps? Now, you can make an argument. Ton is very popular at retail currently, especially abroad. But I mean, for me, I look at Hedera versus Ton. I think it's a no-brainer that Hedera is a little farther along in its roadmap and its institutional presence. It's a juggernaut, man. I mean, Toncoin, Bitcoin Cash, Shiba Inu. You got Leo here.
So
I mean, those just seem like a no-brainer to surpass those. Then I feel like it should be stomping around in the likes of Chainlink, Avalanche, and Stellar. This seems like the proper area for Hedera. So to get into this range and to this Chainlink, Sui, Avalanche area, you got a $10 billion market cap, which gives it about a 50% run up from where it is now. So, when we're looking at prices and we're talking about price expectations of Hedera, I would not be surprised to see a 50% run up within the short term range. So, within say 90 days, I think 90 days, a 25-cent Hedera, which is essentially a 50% run up from where we are at now. 25-cent Hedera seems like a no brainer to me. In the assets of strong layer ones, I feel very confident moving forward with the price of Avalanche, Stellar, and Hedera. I think the three of those are going to return very significant values. They're going to outperform Bitcoin, in my opinion. I think all you really need for those projects specifically is Bitcoin to break new all-time highs and then consolidate. That's the problem, is that we got to all-time highs. We just never really consolidated in a range here. So you look from October, November, we broke out above this 60K, got over to the 100K, right? Then that was a consolidation. Once we broke out again, it just never really materialized because we never really launched, right? We never went from, what was previously back in January was $106,000 Bitcoin. Well, we crossed 106,000, but it wasn't really by that much, right? I mean, we got to 110, 111,000. That was it. And so it wasn't like we crushed new all-time highs. And so when that happens, we're going to see altcoins do similarly what we saw when Bitcoin crushed it the first time, right? When Bitcoin went from 60 to 70,000, remember it traded for eternity between 60 and 70,000. Well, when that broke out, that was back in December. And you look at the altcoins, like Cardano's a great example. Look at Cardano and its price action. Look what happened when we broke out in that November range. Cardano went from 30 cents up to $1.25. This was not just a one-off either. I mean, you go down the list, you look at Avalanche on the 1 year, very similar. Went from $25, 2x to 55, over 2x. And the list goes on and on. Stellar is an absolute gem for this one. Look at that.
Yeah.
From November, 9 cents, shot up to 50 cents.
We call that move on the nose.
Dude, and this all comes with that big move that we saw from Bitcoin. The big move. Now, you might say to yourself, I feel like people are falling asleep at the wheel. They're questioning altcoins. And time again, you get exhaustion. You get exhaustion in altcoins. People start fading it. They lose interest.
They
then
panic.
they panic, and then they miss the big run up. So when you look at this chart, on the 1 year, Bitcoin shot up. This big move, 60,000 to 100,000. That's almost a 2x. And well, altcoins paid out beautifully. Way outperformed Bitcoin in that small window. And so if you're wondering, hey, we're so close, it's still, you're waiting for the next big breakout. What's the next big breakout? We've talked about it time and time again. It is that 130 to 150, maybe 160,000. It might sound like big lofty numbers right now, but it's just a 50% move.
Really not.
We're at. Yeah.
It's not a big lofty number. That's the thing. So I did. So Stan Ivanov said, "Do you think it's too late to buy some virtuals?" You know my answer. No. Rob, price action wise, you called the top at $5. I'll give you some credit. Do you think it's too late to buy virtuals?
No, I would say you probably have a higher upside target than I do on virtuals, but I don't think it's too late. I think that
It's having a little drawdown. Not a little, but it's like a number 3 in the biggest losers.
I'll put it this way. I feel confident that price right now over the next, I would say,
$1.83?
I'd say over the next 6 months, it's going to outperform Bitcoin. I don't think it gets over $6 in the next 6 months. So by the end of the year, I don't think it gets to $6. My personal kind of vibe. With that said, it's still very strong performance because within a year, you're going from, so back in November of 2024, you were at 50 cents. And so you got a lot of people going to take money off the table on the way up. You got to remember, once you set price discovery on a new project, people kick themselves in the butt for not taking profits. So when you start getting back to that range again, when we get back to this $5 range, all the people that bought here at 5 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents, that's a large amount of people that watch their portfolio crush it and get up to $5, right? And then what ended up happening was the people that didn't sell watched this, essentially go back down to sub $1. And a lot of people's mentality, especially on a new project, is different for older projects. A new project is when this starts to get back up to all-time highs, they're going to be like, well, I missed out the first time on taking profits. They're going to do it again. And so that's why I don't think that new projects out here that are getting back to new all-time highs, I just think that these scenarios, people take profit off the table. But I think the ride up from here is pretty juicy. And so myself personally, for virtuals, I would scrape profit on the way up to $5. Probably wouldn't start till I get to about $4 though. I would hold tight in that ride up.
That's solid. I think that's solid advice, man. I really do.
Now, or you can just hold it long term. I think this is one that you could weather the bear market storm.
I divested a little at around $2.
No.
You know what's crazy? We're on the me and Forrest were doing the trading show yesterday. Which, by the way, Forrest will be running the trading show today. Over at Sistine Trading. If you're not subbed to that channel, please do so. If you just want to hang out here, it'll automatically redirect you from this stream to the Sistine Trading stream. And I didn't realize how early him and his community got into virtuals. 10 million market cap, Robin, is when they got in. And it's at 1.2 billion. It's 120x.
Join us at Sistine Trading. That is our new trading hub or home. So if you want to come hang out with us, support SINCITY Crypto, our trading arm is there at Sistine Trading. Go hang out with us. Drop an OLA in the chat. We're always giving out handouts as well. So
we gave $50 Monday, $50 yesterday. I don't know about today, but we'll keep giving some money away. But
you know what? If y'all just get in there and keep spamming OLA, we will never know what happens.
We'll open up our wallets.
Yeah.
Robin's wallet.
Stop it.
Broke Yosh said Forrest calls a lot of alpha. He does, man. That dude is Forrest is a real deal. And his Discord, I think, is $50 a month. I would pay $500 a month. The guy he's just next level alpha. He really is. And so hop over there, guys. Support Forrest, that channel. I'm excited. Friday on Sistine Trading, I'll be running trading with Alex. So me and Alex will be running point on the trading on Friday. You're not going to want to miss that. A lot of exciting things. And so,
Lastly, I'll just say that we have been trying to get, because the Sistine Trading just went live this week. And so we just got over 100 viewers, which is pretty badass for a channel that hasn't streamed at all. And so brand new channel, over 100 viewers. But everyone show up. Let's get the number over 200. I'll tell you what, we'll give away $50 for sure, 100% if we get 200 live viewers. What do you say about that, David?
I was going to do 100, but let's
$100. There it is.
No.
He said 100.
2 people, $50. That way, more people can win.
2 people. So if we get 200 viewers there on Sistine Trading, we'll give away
200 viewers, 100 likes.
Yeah,
we'll give away $50 to 2 people.
There you go.
Cool.
And also David Brumbellum,
Bumblebee.
David Brumblebee, which we hung out with. We did go to the cigar lounge, 8 cigar. At 8 Lounge at Resort World. So we hung out with him and also Hindi as well.
Yeah.
And so that was the good time.
Yeah,
so
it was definitely more last minute, but we were having a hard time getting in contact. And honestly, we didn't realize how hectic that week was going to be. Oh, my God. Thursday, I was here from 6 a.m. to 4, nonstop. People coming in and out, filming, visiting, meetings. And so we'll definitely be more prepared in 2026, which is going to be in April. It's going to be amazing. All right, that'll do it for the show. With that being said, Rocco Gina. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It was a pleasure. Big thank you to our special guest, Max. XLM video drops in 15 minutes. Go watch it. And then go join Forrest over at Sistine Trading for some alpha. I love you guys. Until tomorrow. Peace.
SINCITY, crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming.